Hello, Pisces. Welcome to your November solar session. I am Marlowe if you're new, and if you're family, welcome back, my friend, and whatnot, or whatever, you know what I'm saying? This is my face. I'm pretty sure from all the signs you've seen prior to you guys that you're used to seeing it, but yes, my face is back, so my favorite sign. You know, love it. Love my face. You know what I'm saying? So anywho, we're going to go ahead and jump into you guys' cards for the month of November. But let me stop lying because it's really just the 1st through the 15th of November. So let's see what's going on for my Pisces. If a card ever comes out, probably going to go ahead and pick one. No? Yeah? No? Oh, okay. This is what I get for being smart. Okay, 3 cards came out. All right, first card that we have for Pisces, we have the 10 of the Cuppies. Okay, come on, autofocus. Yes, you did a good job. We doing a good job. Okay, so coming out of October into November, you guys have the 10 of Cups. So we're talking about emotional fulfillment. It's you guys more or less being in, I don't want to fuddy-duddy it up too much. It's you guys more or less being in a stable, emotionally secure, kind of wish fulfillment type of place in so many words. And I feel very much with this is like a transitioning energy. What we mean by that, I don't know. We still got 2 cards to turn over, but the first thing I'm picking up on is Pisces is content and happy, whether that's with yourself, with your kids, you know, with a partner, whatever the case, coming out of October. So there's a completion of a cycle that you guys are just wrapping up. And now you're either coming into, or your aspiration is to align with what's truly happy for you. So what I would gather from that is that prior to this particular moment, that in October, Pisces, either you guys kind of, you let something go, or you transitioned out of something. You realize something wasn't necessarily in alignment with you, or you realize what is in alignment with you. And I don't know why I'm saying that, but I just feel compelled to say it. But it's more or less now I feel like you guys are kind of starting this journey of trying to figure out what it is that's your thing, or what that fulfillment or happiness is for you. Okay, and the next card that we have is the Hanged Man. Okay, big old truck outside. Anyway, we have the Hangman, and that's of course, I always say Aquarius energy, but funny story, one day my mind went blank and I literally said that the Hangman is Pisces, Cancer, and Aquarius because I said so, so it is. You know what I'm saying? So with the Hangman, it's more or less you guys, that kind of goes into like the scenario that I was picking up on. Is you guys leaving out of a particular cycle. I don't want to say situation, but I feel like you guys are kind of wrapping up a cycle, and whether you guys are where it is that you want to be, or you guys are aspiring to be where it is that you desire to be, I feel that's kind of like the intention coming into the month of November, if I could say it that way. But with the Hanged Man, it's a sense of accepting consequences, if I could say it that way. I don't know where this is going, Pisces, but it feels to me like you're accepting consequences for things that have transpired. So whether for good or for bad, whether you are in your happily ever after, or you're still aspiring for it, it's kind of realizing, if this is what I have, like, and I'm just going to use 2 very specific scenarios. So say Pisces like found the love of their life in the month of October, then it's like that journey that you were on to find that person that was your person. It's like that journey's over and you found it, right? So when we're coming into this Hangman energy, it's more or less about, okay, what's next? Like, what's the next step from here? Now, on the other side of this, if a person like left out of something, or a cycle is kind of wrapping up and you left something that wasn't serving you, or wasn't in your highest good, or just wasn't, you know, fulfilling, you know what I'm saying? This will more or less be you guys coming into the month with that intention, and with this Hangman kind of taking a step back to figure out what that is, and accepting that, you know, where you are now is a byproduct of choices that you've made, and this is life. This is where I'm at. Don't really know where to go from here, but it's like I'm going to take my time to get clear, to realign with myself, detox a little bit, and figure it out. Now, the next card, okay, I like that. Next card that we have is, if I could get the autofocus. How did I do that last time? There we go. The 9 of Swords in the reverse. I don't know if I showed this to y'all. I think I did. So sorry to interrupt you guys while you're listening to the show, but I wanted to tell you guys about our new partnership with Betterhelp. If you haven't heard of them, it's an online resource in which you can find your very own friendly local neighborhood therapist, no matter where you are in the world. You sign up, and within 24 hours, they match you with a therapist that's right for you. And you can talk to your counselor every week via phone or video chat. You can also text them between sessions. If you or someone you know has been considering therapy, get started today with BetterHelp. Now let's get back to the show. That's a hangman, just in case I didn't. But anywho, with the Nine of Swords in the reverse, this is more or less you guys coming out of a time. So literally, just kind of looking at this percentage wise, the energy that's pronouncing itself more than the Pisces that found their happily ever after would be a Pisces. Buku cards came out. Aside from a Pisces who found their happily ever after, the energy to me that's pronouncing itself more would be a Pisces that kind of figured out in the month of October that something just wasn't in alignment with you, and you electing to go in the decision of what it is that's truly fulfilling, but not really knowing what that is exactly. Some of you guys may have an energy signature, you may have an impression, you may have a generalization like, I want, a family, like a partner, kids, I want, career success, like, whatever the case, whatever it is for you. But I do think it's beautiful. And I feel like it's kind of like the solution to whatever the issue would be for you guys coming into this month. I mean, feelings wise, with this Hanged Man, it's like you kind of getting clear on yourself. And I'm fighting off 1,000 different things I'm hearing in my head. Not that I'm ignoring them. It's just like, I'm like, okay, well, which one of these? Because this is a lot of goddamn scenarios. If I were to stick with one, like, and kind of X out the other group of the happy Pisces, not saying that you're not happy, but if I were to X out the group of Pisces that are like, oh my gosh, this is my happily ever after, the main kind of line my guides are showing me is being in a situation, it's not in alignment. You probably tussled with it for some time, but then you came to a point where it's like, I'm just not happy here. And of course, this could be friendship, relationship, living situation, job. It could be a myriad of different things. But whatever the case, it's like, I'm not happy here. I'm going off into the direction of what my happiness is. And it's more or less like you went in the direction of what your happiness is, per se, but you really didn't know what that was. You just knew that where you were isn't where you were happy, if that makes sense. So this Hanged Man is this liaison phase, but this is more or less like your salvation, because I feel it's almost like Pisces getting out of alignment with themselves. And this weekly reading I did like 2-3 weeks ago on our sanctuary, my network, it keeps coming up in readings. And I was saying something about how when we, like, whether we're in relationships, we're in friendships, it's jobs, we're working, whatever the case, it's like whenever we connect our lives with other people, it's like, or situation, circumstances, whatever the case, it's like our energy signature shifts and we have a tendency to, align with whatever it is that we're fooling with. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really looking at this Hangman, and this is all happening within the first week of November, by the way. I'm really seeing this Hangman energy as you kind of getting back to your ground zero. And I have to stress the whole detox thing, because I just feel, especially with this Nine of Swords in the reverse being here, I don't really feel that Pisces has been themselves up to this point. It's like whatever it is that you were fraternizing with, I feel that it's bought you guys like completely, well, not completely. I don't want to like overstress it or oversell it, but it's like, I feel like what it is that you guys have been fraternizing with has bought you a great deal out of alignment with your truth. You feel what I'm saying? And it's kind of put you in a position to where you're thinking small about yourself, or you're limiting your perspective of yourself, or you're limiting what's possible because you're kind of only seeing things within this box. But granted, that's the box that you existed in. So it's like your discontentment with the situation that you came out of in October is so much more than, I'm a physical touch person and my partner never gives me hugs, right? It's so much deeper than that. It's like, I really feel, if I were to say this way, because Pisces, we all know, you guys are like the most psychic sign, like legit. Y'all are walking psychics in real life, right? So thinking about it like that, it's kind of like a person who has all of these perceptive abilities, or even if you're watching this and you have Pisces in some other placement that's not like your sun or like your moon or whatever the case, but it's just the fact that it's like you being the superpower person that's very much in alignment, that's very clear on who you are, like where you are, what you're doing, where you want to go, with like who you want to be, who you want to be with type of deal. And it's kind of aligning yourself with stuff that's completely outside of the realm of your truth and your abundance and fruitfulness, you know? So it's spending time in that energy signature for so long that you started to forget who it is that you really even were. You know what I mean? So I say all of that to say that with this Hanged Man, I feel like you guys are kind of going into a solitary time to get clear, but there's a need to detox from this past cycle. But I feel you guys taking a step back and kind of communing with yourself is what's going to lead you to this Nine of Swords and the reverse, which is you coming out of like this mental turmoil, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Because it's kind of like, if I could say it this way as well, if we were talking about a person in particular, you can use this as an analogy if we're talking about work or something. It's like the thing I feel that Pisces has been grieving up to this point, you're not grieving like who you lost, you're grieving who you wish they were, right? Like you're not grieving the loss of this job, you're grieving the loss of what you wish that job was. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like having this idealized perception on things. And here's the irony. I don't know why this is coming out like this. I'm gonna tell you all these cards that then fill out, but it's almost like this is a message that's coming to me for Pisceans. And I know this is like a placement, and a lot of people's charts is a combination of placements where this manifests this way. But it's almost like the Pisces person who would resonate with this is you're somebody who walks into a situation, you have a tendency to idealize stuff a lot. So it's like if you meet a person, it's like you like that person's always potential. So it's one of those, and I've had this conversation 1,000 times. It's almost like if, you know, whatever it is that you're into, whether it's like if you meet a person who's of the opposite sex, that's a viable option, or the same sex, whatever it is that you're into, it's like you instantly look at this person as like a romantic option. You know what I'm saying? Like a potential of someone for you to date. Or it's like if you start dating someone and you like them, it's like you'll completely idealize this person and see them as like the best version of themselves type of deal. And it's like, oh, it's just a feeling like we just have this connection and this chemistry, and it's kind of approaching stuff like that. So the reason why, child, look, and this is just all channeled information because this don't have nothing to do with these cards, but I just feel really compelled to say this. But it's idealizing people to the point that you kind of shoot yourself in the foot when it comes to partnerships. And they're specifically telling me to say that. I mean, for some of y'all, it could be jobs, but what my guys are saying is this is speaking to partnerships. You shoot yourself in the foot with partnerships because like you idealize the person and you fall in love with, like I said before, the idea of the person, not the actual person. So when the person starts doing stuff that doesn't quite align with that ideal you have, you kind of ignore it, don't pay attention to it, rationalize it or whatsoever. And time passes and time passes. And then all of a sudden this person becomes a person that like you don't even really recognize, but it's almost like the equivalent of kind of gaslighting yourself or love bombing yourself, because like narcissists do that. They'll love bomb you where they're like the representative in the beginning, then they switch. But that's not how they're showing it to me. It's showing it to me of what Pisces is projecting onto people. So this person is like, and I'm just gonna say it this way, like this person is like ain't shit, right? But Pisces is seeing the ideal. So they can consistently do ain't shit stuff, but you don't see it as ain't shit stuff because you see it as your ideal person doing ain't shit stuff. So it's not really ain't shit. It's that they're tired, confused, overwhelmed, got this and that going on type of vibes. You know what I'm saying? But this is more or less like you guys coming back to yourself as you getting a sense of mental clarity, right? And getting into the other cards before I channel my face off, we have the Six of Pentacles that came out. We have the Four of Swords that came out. We have the Nine of Pentacles. This is buku cards that came out, y'all. We have the 9 of Cups in the reverse. That's what I was feeling. Then we have this 3 of Cups in the reverse. If I could get my autofocus to work. All right, there we go. So legit, that's what I'm seeing here. So here's the key. There needs to be a level of reciprocity. I can't talk. There needs to be a level of reciprocity in your connections, Pisces. I'm saying this, but I'm pretty sure y'all know that already. I don't feel like I'm telling you something that you don't know, but I feel that that's something that's lacking. I feel that there's a lot of giving on Pisces and hoping that a person is going to reciprocate what it is that you've given. But with this, and that's like what my guys just said, is that's your ideal love relationship. Your ideal love relationship is a person who puts in the equivalent of what it is that you put in. And I don't know why this is even becoming about love, because this is not a love reading. But and I have to throw in work again. It's like, and I mean, friendship's everything. It's like your ideal relationship is people, companies, whatever, that invest in you as much as you invest in them. And I feel like if you're honest with yourself, especially with this 9 of Cups in the reverse falling under the 6 of Pentacles and this 10 of Cups, it's like the reason why you aren't content and you haven't been fulfilled, you don't have your 10 of Cups yet, and why you're aspiring to it is because you're giving and expecting a person to reciprocate what you've given, but it's like you really have to go back to the drawing board and pay attention to who it is you're giving to. You feel what I'm saying? It's kind of like if I tell a person who I know is a known thief to hold my purse and I'm going to go run and pee real quick, and if I come back and they're gone and my purse is gone, should I really be shocked? You feel me? Should I really be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they stole my purse. How could they do that to me? And it's like, they are a thief. You know what I'm saying? Like what a person does consistently. Like I told you guys in Gemini's reading, it's like every, in my Instagram video, for those of you who saw it, my Instagram reel. But it's like every choice that you make and have made your entire life is a statement of who you are. If a person lies and chooses to lie all the time, they're a liar. You know what I'm saying? If a person consistently steals, they're a thief. Like that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? But it's kind of like a person being a pathological liar, like a kleptomaniac, and looking at them and seeing them in the light of this ideal person that used to steal or used to lie or, you know, whatever the case. And it's kind of like I said, it's giving your purse to a known thief and then being shocked when they steal it. You feel what I'm saying? And I feel like this is, it's funny. Don't use my word. I'm talking to my guides. Don't be using my words. It's like it's fraternizing with people that are intertwined with unscrupulous means. And this is like a certain awareness that you have of this. You do, but then you don't. And where you have to be personally accountable, this is also what my guys are telling me, don't blame me, blame them. Is you have to be personally accountable, because we could say, I didn't know this person wasn't like this when I first met them, but your feeling of discontent, right? Like that feeling of being violated, being slighted, not knowing how a person feels about you, which is ironic because it's probably a message that was for you guys, honestly. Because I had to go to the doctor today, got a clean bill of health, so I'm excited about that. Just a little bit about me. But as I was coming home and I was walking into my house, I heard, if you're not sure about them, that's your answer, right? So if you're not sure about, is this a good job or is it not? Does this person love me or do they not? Do they want to be with me or do they not? If you ever have to ask yourself those questions, that's a sign that that's not for you, because that's not something that should ever be questioned. You know what I mean? Do you ever have to sit and ask yourself that about like your friends? Like, is she really my friend? Does she really fool with me? I mean, they got some people like that. I don't fool with friends like that. I know all my friends love me and I love them very much. The same thing like with my mother. Like, I don't ever stop and ask myself, like, does my mom love me? Does she? I'm not sure if she does, you know, and have to do a whole bunch of stuff to try to see if my mom loves me. No, it's just, it's understood. You feel what I'm saying? But I feel this discontentment, this lack of emotional fulfillment that is your sign to let you know that a situation that you're in is not in alignment with you and you're putting more in than you're getting back. And I feel like there's a need to recognize that, but at the same time, kind of not worried, because straight down the middle of you guys' spread, which we're talking about the 1st through the 15th here, legit, you guys kind of taking a step back from everything, kind of resting, like getting a little respite, getting your thoughts together, kind of pondering on what has got you to this point, you know what I'm saying? And kind of confronting what it is that discontentment is, or what it is that's leaving you guys to feel unhappy. I feel you guys are gonna get a, oh girl, ooh, child, and see, when I show my face, child, this gets real tricky. I was about to say something, but then I looked over at this 9 of Pentacles in the reverse and they said something, and I was like, oh. So Pisces, please do not shoot the messenger. But with this 9 of Pentacles in the reverse here, this goes back to a self-esteem issue. I'm just gonna be honest. And I'm really not surprised by that, because looking at this 9 of Pentacles in the reverse and seeing this diagonal from the Hanged Man, right? I'm not going to do a whole tarot class, but legit, this literally goes back to the weekly reading where we're talking about your personal worth and value. When my guys say unscrupulous people, which is one of my favorite words, but they talk about fraternizing with like unscrupulous people, that's what that definition of unscrupulous would mean. It's like, these are people who are not your people. It's like, these are people who aren't honoring you and uplifting you, and you know, and this literally goes into whether this is romantical friendship or this is like job stuff. It's like working at a job and you never being recognized for all the overtime that you do and everything that you contribute to the company. But the thing that they're telling me to say, and like I say, please don't shoot the messenger, is the reason why you're drawn to those situations, because it's like being drawn to people, and even if it's your boss, being drawn to people who are treating you in a way that you perceive yourself. It's like, it's feeling like you don't, like, I don't deserve to get love freely. I'm saying this hypothetically, of like what this, and it's not even a conscious thought. This would be like a subconscious, you know, false core belief. But it's like, I don't believe I deserve to gain love freely. I have to earn it. I have to work for it. I have to do something to show that I've earned this in order for me to feel that I deserve to have it. And I think that's the thing Spirit's trying to break you guys out of, because I don't believe you aspiring to the 10 of Pentacles. I mean, the 10 of Pentacles, you guys aspiring to the 10 of Cups. I don't feel that that's anything new. I could even go as far as to say that your entire life, that's probably what you've been aspiring to and can't seem to figure out why it is that you can't get it. And the reason why is because it's like, it's a magnetism thing. We attract who and what it is that we are. Not saying that you're a liar or a thief. That's not what my point is. You know what I'm saying? It's you're attracted to people who are going to reinforce whatever it is that you believe about life and love and success. And I feel in this time that you guys spend in the first 15 days of November being kind of solitary, it's kind of like digging deep to those core beliefs and where they come from. You know what I'm saying? Or why it is that you put up with certain stuff. If you resonate with idealizing a person, it's you taking time to think like, why do I do that? You know what I mean? What am I really looking for? When I think about getting into a relationship, what am I really looking for? It's like, oh, I want companionship and partnership. Who wants to be alone? But what does that mean, though? You know what I'm saying? It's like, I feel like those are deep dive questions that really need to be asked here. And I mean, I don't know. I gave Aries this little meditation to do. Okay, yeah, we have the 5 of Swords in the reverse at the bottom of your deck. I gave Aries this. I'm trying to make it clear. Come on, dagnabbit, son of a gun. There we go. There's this meditation that I gave Aries that I use for myself whenever I'm trying to get to the root of things, because I literally feel like for literally all the signs, there's something that's underneath the surface that is trying to manifest to the surface. And it's a meditation that I do. It's like automatic talking, much like automatic writing. but it's, you know, doing your little breath work, like getting comfortable sitting down, doing your little breath work, putting your hand on your sacral chakra and asking it what it feels and just speaking. Or if there's different parts in your body, you could feel something, like if it's, you know, your throat is itchy, or you know, your arm is numb, or whatever the case. It's like you could speak to any part of your body and allow it to speak to you, but you want to turn on. Everyone who's done it so far, they've been doing videos and they have come out so hilarious because there's been all kinds of crazy stuff that has happened, child. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people are doing videos, or you could do a voice memo. But I mean, if you guys are interested, because I mean, I've recommended this to so many people since it came out in Aries reading. I literally might just do a video on it. I might just do a video like showing you guys like how to do the whole little process. So I just answered my own question, child. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? But the main thing I say with this Pisces is in the month of November with you guys, it's imperative for you to get clear with yourself, because I feel this is kind of like a repeated cycle, if I could say it that way. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like this is the first time that you've been here. And in order to get out of the cycle, there's a need to really confront the truth of the matter of really what's happening. And I can rant to y'all all day about that, because y'all know I feel comfortable talking to y'all because y'all are like my favorite sign. Spent 9 months in a Piscean womb and things, you know what I'm saying? But anywho, but it's like legit, it reminds me of like what I used to do on my journal, like back in the day when I was trying to like get my life together before I went to therapy. It's like I legit used to just like write out like different stuff I would do. And like, why do I do that? Or think about like when I would date people, it's like, you know, how long did it take me to realize that, you know, this person sucked? And it's like, what if I started just dating people and not like putting a title on it or getting super serious with a person in that particular time frame that a person typically shows their ass? You know what I'm saying? So I kind of feel that's the kind of stuff you guys are needing to do, because I feel like it's kind of like it's not clicking as to why you end up in these situations. But I feel like you are literally the solution to whatever issue it is that you guys are grappling with. You know what I'm saying? I hope and pray that that makes sense, Pisces. But anywho, that's been your soul session for November 1st to the 15th. Let me know what you think in the comments. I love you, face. And I will see you guys sooner than later, my friend.